Hi guys, I am back with another makeup tutorial. I am going to be doing this eyeshadow look today that I wore a couple weeks ago. Usually when I do my makeup, I don't really plan it. I just kind of start doing it and try to, I don't know, try to make it look somewhat similar. But again, I asked my best friend, what should I talk about? She said I should tell a funny story or a story from my childhood or something. And the first story that popped into my head is, it's a story. So my eyebrows are already done and I'm not gonna do my foundation until after. If I get fallout on my cheeks, I don't want my foundation to be ruined. This story of getting tricked into going to church camp, let me clarify, I knew I was going somewhere. I knew I was going to a summer camp. I didn't know that it was church related. And let me there's so many things to explain here. Basically, so in my last video, one of the questions that I answered was what were you like in high school? And I said, I was a loser. I didn't have a lot of friends. That was also true in middle school. I didn't have a lot of friends in middle school because I was at a private school and then I transferred to public school. And I'm glad that I did that. I ended up meeting my best friend and we've been best friends for, years. So I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I moved schools, switched schools. I don't know, I just didn't, I was a new kid. I didn't have a lot of friends. So there was this one girl that I, for some reason, really wanted to be friends with. I don't know what it was about her, but I really wanted to be her friend. So she told me that if I wanted, I don't remember exactly how she said it, but she told me basically, if I wanted to be her friend, I would have to do certain things. And what that looked like in, 7th grade was that I had to go to summer camp with her, this church summer camp. I'm from a really small, white town. And I was like, do they have summer camps that aren't church related here? And she was like, yeah, totally. There's church at night and then that's it. There's nothing else religious going on. And I was like, okay, well, if that's it, then it should be fine. It shouldn't be that weird for me, because I'm Hindu, kind of. I'm not very religious, but I would say that I would identify as Hindu. So yeah, this girl was the worst. So this girl, she was like, yes, so you're gonna come to summer camp with me. And when we were on the way there, she's like, by the way, there's actually church 3 times a day. And yeah, is that okay with you? And I was like, I guess it has to be. It's too late. We're almost there. We get to this camp and the counselor or whatever, on day 1 or 2, she was like, so-and-so tells me that you are not Christian. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not. And she was like, okay, that's fine. You might change your mind. And I was like, probably won't. I did not change my mind. They made me change my mind. So there was all kinds of different, I don't know how to describe it, basically all the activities there were, related to Christianity and religion, which is, fine because it was a church camp. And I wish I had known that before I went, but whatever, that's fine. My mom probably knew, but she was like, I think my mom was kind of just like, whatever, go to summer camp, have fun. none of us knew what it would turn into. So there were various times during this camp where they would ask me like, well, do you believe in Jesus? And I would give them the same answer. I believe historically that Jesus Christ was a person, because, you know, that's historically accurate, I think. And yeah, so I believe that he was a person, and that's kind of how I left it, you know. And they were like, oh, okay, so what religion are you? And I would tell them like, you know, I'm Hindu. And they would be like, oh, you know, anything that is the opposite of what we say in Christianity, anything that disagrees with what we're saying is the work of Satan. And I was like, oh my God, that's awful. I don't believe in Satan. That's crazy. And they were like, yeah, you know, if you don't devote your life to Jesus, then you're going to hell. And I was like, I don't believe in hell. I don't believe in hell. Like, I'm sorry. So they kept asking me at this camp if I wanted to convert. And I would tell them like, no, thank you. I'm good on that. And they would, you know, keep telling me, you know, you are going to end up in hell if you don't listen to us. And it felt like a threat, because they would like always talk about hell and how it's, you know, eternal suffering. And they were like, that's what you have. That's what you have to look forward to unless you listen to us. And, you know, they didn't exactly say it like that, but that's how it came across. This story, every time I tell this story, I'm just like, I promise I'm not making it up, because it's so like bananas that like it could only be made up, but this is a true story. I mean, like, I respect it. Like, I mean, I respect Christianity, of course. Like, it's a religion, and if that's what you believe, like, that's personally not what I believe, but like, you know, whatever. But don't like be pushy is basically what I got out of this whole experience. Like, if you want somebody to agree with you, don't threaten them, and don't threaten their family, because they would tell me, you know, your parents also are going to hell. And I was like, I think that's what like scared me. I was like, I don't want my parents to have to deal with like eternal suffering. And like, they were really brainwashing me, you know, or they were trying to, and they kept telling me, you know, this is what the Bible says, and this is what this says, and this is what we believe, and this is what you should believe. And it was toxic. So on, I think it was like my final night at camp, they were like, here today with us is your last chance to convert and to be one of us. And, you know, today's your last chance. And if not, then you are going to go home, and you and your parents are going to have, you know, eternal suffering. And, you know, if you want to save your parents, you'll let us convert you. Like, now that I'm an adult and like can kind of like look back on that, I'm like, what the hell? Like, how was that allowed? What they did and what they said, like, that just doesn't seem okay. Personally, that's what I think. It just doesn't seem legal. It was just like a threat. So eventually, finally, I was like, fine, whatever, save me, convert me, save me, whatever you want, just like leave me alone, is essentially how that went. Like so crazy. Like, I don't know how it normally goes when somebody gets, you know, converted or saved or whatever. Like, I don't know what that normal like procedure is. But for me, my experience, it was a lot like the scene in Borat. I'm not even lying. It seems a lot. It felt a lot. I don't know if Borat had come out yet. It was a lot like that scene in Borat where he's being blessed, converted, whatever it was, where they're like pressing on his head and they're like, this is the power of God, and he's like falling backwards. That's how that went. I just being an adult now, looking back on this, it's crazy. And honestly, that experience made me have negative feelings towards God and organized religion and stuff for a very long time. A lot of screaming in my face. It was a lot of yelling. Yeah, it was a lot of yelling, really loud music. And afterwards, like everybody was like congratulating me and telling me that like now I'd be able to, you know, rescue my parents or save my parents. And it's not even over. Like, this is the story. There's more. So we come home from summer camp and my mom is there to pick me up, you know, and she's like, "Yay, honey, good to see you." And one of the counselors walks over to my mom and she's like, "Hi, your daughter has something to tell you." Your daughter has something to tell you. And I'm like, oh my God, oh fuck. Like, I don't really remember because it was so long ago, but I think part of me was like, maybe we'll just never talk about it and my parents don't have to like know that this went on. And you know, we can just never, you know, we can never talk about it again. That would be amazing. But the counselor was like, no, you have to be like proud that you've done this. And I was like, I wish I hadn't. I'm not proud of it. I wish that I had not done it because that's not what I want to do. So I'm standing in front of my mother with this camp counselor, youth pastor lady. And she's like, you know, tell your mom. And I was like, I have been saved. And my mom goes, that's great. Honey, we need to go. And I was like, oh, thank God. And then we got home and my mom was like, do you want to tell your dad? And I was like, not really. But I like sat down with both my parents and I was like, they saved me. And they told me that all of us were gonna go to hell unless I did what they said. And like, I don't want that for us. So this is my completed makeup look. I'm actually pretty happy with it. It's not exactly what I did last time, but I'm pretty happy with it. I think it turned out all right. You guys got to see my messy curly hair. But yeah, that was the story of me getting tricked into going to church camp, tricked into getting converted, I guess. It was an interesting story. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. If you guys have any requests or if you guys have any makeup looks you want me to do, anything to talk about, questions you want me to answer, let me know and I will do that next time. So thank you so much. If you would like to, you could like my video, you could subscribe to my channel, and you could comment down below and let me know whatever you want. But thank you so much, and I'll put some pictures after this so you can see the look better. But thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.